Hi, I'm Rex Sikes. I'd like to ask you a question. What do you think is the number one reason people don't live their best life ever? They don't get to live their dreams. What do you think that is? Why don't people live what they hope to live? You got an answer? Some people say it was because of the way they were born. Some people say it's because of who they're around. Some people say it's the government or their education or the lack thereof. What do you say? What's the reason that you aren't living the life of your dreams? Let me redefine it for you. Let me answer it with one word. Stuck. The reason you don't have the money you want is because you're stuck with the money that you have or don't have. The reason you don't have the love that you want is that you're stuck in either a bad relationship or without a relationship. The reason you're not feeling happy is because you're stuck being angry, frustrated, or sad. You're stuck. You're frozen. You're not making any forward movement. That is the problem for most people in the world. For everybody in the world, frankly, because there's only two choices. You're either increasing and advancing and expanding, or you're contracting or decreasing or shrinking or shriveling or dying. There's two directions you can go, or you don't go in either of them. Do you get that? So you're either increasing, decreasing, or you're stuck. You're frozen. It's like when the waters of a lake become frozen. So the interesting thing about being stuck, what does stuck imply? By the way, I'm Rex Sikes, and if you stick with me to the end of this video, I'm going to have a free gift for you. There'll be a link either down below or above or on the video screen, but there'll be a link to an absolutely free gift, and I'm not going to tell you anything. I may tell you about something, but I'm not going to say anything. I just want you to pay attention and listen and understand that you can qualitatively transform the life that you have in incredible and powerful ways. So, what does stuck imply? It implies no movement. Now, if I get my car stuck in the mud or in the snow, I can be spinning my tires, I can be pressing the accelerator, I can be doing all sorts of things, we're trying to rock the car, but I'm not getting any movement, I'm not making productive contact. In other words, I can be busy doing all sorts of things and not actually advancing myself. See, there's a difference between being active and busy and actually being productive. All right. And a lot of people do a lot of stuff. They work harder. They try harder. They overthink it. They do all sorts of things to get out of their problem because they're focused on their problem. They're focused on being stuck. They don't want to be stuck. I bet you don't want to be stuck, right? And so you try everything. You try this thing and that thing. You go from here to there, trying everything. And it's like what you do when your car is stuck in the mud. You try all these different things. But until the car makes the right kind of contact, until there's friction on the roadway or with the snow, the car's not going anywhere. It doesn't matter how many different things you try. And it's the same thing in life. So let me ask you another question. On a scale of 1 to 10, how's your life right now? Hopefully you said 8, 9, or a 10, but if you didn't, you can change that. You can improve that. How's your love life on a scale of 1 to 10? How's your happiness quotient on a scale of 1 to 10? How is your abundance, your finances, your prosperity on a 1 to 10, or your debt? Yeah. How's your health on a scale of 1 to 10? You see, you need to do an evaluation to determine where you are and where you want to go. Now, one of the reasons why people don't get where they want to go is because they're stuck doing the same thing day in and day out, inside their head, inside their feelings, with the same behaviors or actions they do over and over again. You see, it said that we think 65,000 thoughts every day. We've known this for at least 3 or 4 decades. In the 60s, they did a study. They studied college students to determine how on automatic these college students were. They followed them around. They took notes. This is when computers had, vacuum tubes and things like that. And they determined that the subjects of the study were 95 to 99% on automatic. They ran habitually. They did the same thing day in, day out. They said the same things, had the same kind of conversations. Sometimes the content would change. One student that they studied this is a college student, had a routine vocabulary of 400 words. Now, the average 6-year-old has a vocabulary larger than that. The average 4-year-old, I think, if my memory serves, has a vocabulary larger than that. Doesn't mean he didn't understand the words, but he routinely used the same words. We are very habituated. We're conditioned. We're born pretty much a blank slate. Maybe there's some genetic material, maybe there's not. That's always open for dispute. But but then we're conditioned. We're a helpless, tiny little baby. We're surrounded by people who either really love us and try and care for us with their best intentions, or with people who don't care so much, and we are brought up in families that don't serve us the way we would hope that people would be served. That is a possibility too. We get educated, we go to school, or we don't. In other words, we either have a good education or we have a lousy education. We hang around with peers who are either help us or hurt us. In other words, we are surrounded by people who, let's assume, with the best intentions, are trying to help raise you to be a productive, wonderful human being and have a great life. And they tell you, don't touch that, be afraid, don't do that, you can't do that. The Wright Brothers' father, the Wright Brothers, are responsible for air travel, and rocket ships. I mean, when you think about it, the Wright Brothers had never flown, no one had ever flown a machine under its own power until the Wright Brothers did that. So what did the Wright Brothers do? They experimented, they tried, they failed, they tried, they failed, they tried, they failed. Their own father said, you guys are idiots. Give this up. This is stupid. Science would say if man was meant to fly, if humans were meant to fly, God had given them wings. Sometimes even the experts are the ones that will hold you back, push you back, and try and prove you wrong, because it doesn't, your dream or the dream of the entrepreneur, the Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, the Thomas Edisons, the Teslas, the Bill Gates, those people go against the status quo. So resistance often comes from people who love us the most. And the Wright Brothers' fathers go, you're idiots trying to do this. And yet they didn't know how to fly until they flew. And once they flew, they could then replicate it. Now, here's an amazing fact. The ability to fly had been around since the dawn of humankind. No one had ever figured out how to do it until the Wright Brothers did it that way. But it had been around since the dawn of humankind. All of the materials that they used were around from the dawn of humankind. Nothing in this universe has changed. There's nothing been added from outer space and nothing been taken away into outer space. Everything was here. All the resources, all the potential know-how, all the possibilities existed, and yet they didn't do it. And the same is true inside of you. Inside of you is an infinite realm of possibilities and all sorts of incredible goodness and abundance and prosperity. And yet it's covered by the conditioning that we're born into and raised up in. And between 1 and 7, where we're primarily in the theta brain waves, there's beta, alpha, theta, and delta. Beta is what we would consider normal waking consciousness. Now there's high beta as well. Alpha is when we're a little bit relaxed. Delta is that area between being relaxed and right before we go to sleep, and delta is when we're sleeping. Kids, during the time that they're brought up, they play, and they imagine, and they use their imagination. They're in this beta state most of the time, and so they're being conditioned. They're being hypnotically programmed by the do's and don'ts, and the yeses and the nos, and that they get from the people around them. That you got, that I got, that we all got, and so we learn how to take other people's beliefs and other people's values, other people's limitations, and other people's problems, and make them our own. And then we live from them as if they are our own. And then we have self-talk that rags on us oftentimes, tells us we can't do it, we're stupid, we're foolish, give it up. I mean, nobody, my guess is you wouldn't let anybody talk to you the way you talk to yourself. We are oftentimes the hardest on us, on ourselves. And we're stuck in this because what it is it's a conditioned response. It's a habitual form of conditioning. It's like your computer, when you use a word processing function, it spits it out because that's what it was designed to do. So with us, we get triggered from situations in the world external to us or inside of us. We have a thought, and then we have less than glorious feelings. We feel bad, and then we entertain those things. It's really, when you think about it, it's electrochemical impulses that are being squirted in the brain. and in the body. Our hormones are being released. And we translate them into this conscious thought. And then we say we're a bad puppy and nobody loves us and I'll never be able to do anything and I have a mountain of debt and I can't get over it. And then we think that repetitiously day in and day out. There's never enough. And you know what? If you think there's never enough, there never will be enough. Because the thought is what's guiding you. You're looking at from your eyes. It's a matter of perspective. It's a matter of perception. Your thoughts are governing your feelings and your behaviors. So if you think a crappy thought, like I can't do it, and you feel bad, what happens is the thought leads to that feeling. Electrochemical impulses, chemicals squirt, and you feel bad. Once you feel bad inside your body then helps you generate the next negative, lousy thought. So you feel bad again. And then with that negative thought, you feel worse. And with that feeling worse, you feel another negative thought. And so you spiral down. And you'll remain there until and unless you make a decision to not be there anymore. In other words, if you always do what you always did, you'll always get what you always got. If you're always doing the same thing over and over and over again, don't expect it to be different. Expect it to be the same because it's going to be the same. It's automatic in the same way that how when you learned to drive a car, it seemed difficult at first. That was a conditioning process. You went through, you learned to apply the brakes and the clutch if you had a clutch and shift, and you learned to turn the key and you learned to talk yourself through everything. And you taught yourself through the process of driving, and you practiced it and you rehearsed it until one day you got in the car, you turned on the key, you drove to your friend's house or to some place, and you didn't even think about it. And now you can drive home from somewhere and be lost in thought or on the phone and then go, oh my God, I got home and I've been driving this entire time. You're on automatic. You're running on automatic. You're non-conscious. The other than conscious portion of you, some people call it subconscious or unconscious, whatever you want to call it, that aspect of you, which is infinitely more powerful than our conscious mind by some people say billions, like 10 billion times more powerful than our conscious mind, runs the show. So if you're stuck, which is why most people are stuck, it's because you're doing the same thing over and over again. You're expecting, you're hoping, you're wanting, you're wishing for a different result, but hoping and wanting and wishing is not going to get you a different result. If you want your life to change, you have to change things in your life. You have to change what you're doing. You can't do the same thing over and over again and have it be different. Do you understand this? The reason why you practice things, for example, basketball players practice shooting, they practice dribbling, they practice passing the balls so that they get really good at doing those things. They get conditioned so that they can do it without thinking. And you've been conditioned to do what you do without thinking. They have the limitations, they have the beliefs, they have the negative self-talk, they have the dire pictures come up in your mind that say, I am never enough, I can't do it, or I have money troubles, I've always had money troubles. And then you have a story around it. You tell this story to people you meet, you rehearse the story, you tell it to yourself, and that keeps you where you are. You're stuck. And yet you try all sorts of things, but you're not making contact. The tires are spinning, you're bouncing on the car, you're trying to rock it, you're trying to go faster or slower, you're trying to push it forward or backward, but you're not making the contact. You're trying this thing and that thing and the other thing, and what you need to know is know how to make the contact. And I will show you how to make that contact. I've been doing this for 40 years. I have a program called Mind Design. It's how you design the interior of your head so you think your very best thoughts, and you do it in a way that is pleasing and comfortable and enjoyable, in a way that allows you to move forward step by step, inch by inch, little bit by little bit, into breaking through the limitations that you have, to letting go and releasing the negative beliefs and the blockages and the things that have held you back, to rewriting a new story that says, I am the kind of person who can do these things and does do these things, and get to create your best life ever. So I have a program called Mind Design. I've got a lot of different programs. I've got programs on law of attraction, neurolinguistic programming, how to get people to do what you want. I've got the Attitude Activator, which is how do you activate your attitude so that you can have the very best attitude in whatever situation, event, or circumstance, or with whatever people you are around. Maybe the last hypnosis tape you ever actually need. So you have to decide, and the trouble with most people is they want things, but wanting doesn't get you anything. I can want to be right now in Tahiti. I want to be in Tahiti. I want to be in Tahiti. I want to be in Tahiti. Oh, I'm still here. I wish I were in Tahiti. No, I'm still here. You see, wanting and wishing isn't going to do it. But if I decide I'm going to Tahiti and I then start taking the right steps, because I know that I know that I can plan it, I know that I can finance it, I know I can find the right travel arrangements and the right people, and I know I can go and have a good time. It starts here. It starts inside me. It starts with the decision that I'm going to do it. I'm going to create it. I'm going to make it happen. No more of the crap anymore. I'm going. No more of the wanting anymore. I'm done. I'm doing it. When you know that you're going to do it, you will do it, or you're more liable to do it than wanting and wishing. So most people are stuck wanting and wishing. They're stuck not knowing what to do. They're stuck not doing what they could be doing in order to be productively moving forward. They're stuck in decrease and in withering and in dying, and not in increase and expanding and being alive and feeling thrilled and alive. And you know what? If you only have one go around at this life, it should be a party. It should be joyous. It should be happy. It should be fun. It should be thrilling. You should have everything that you want, and you can. If it's possible for anyone in the world to do anything at all, it's possible for you. You have a vast resource network inside you. Every experience, every memory, every negative thing that's ever happened to you is the seed of an opportunity for you. It's inside you. It resides in you. And all you've got to do is tap into it, and I will show you how to tap into it. I promise you, I will deliver the goods. You enroll in Mind Design, and you can transform your life. And then the question is will you? Or will you want to? Or will you come up with an excuse or a reason why you can't or not or shouldn't or wouldn't or didn't or haven't or whatever? And will you remain where you are? Because a lot of people are totally comfortable in a not so comfortable way. In other words, they hate it, but they're comfortable being stuck. They're comfortable having a tough time in their life. They're comfortable with their problems because that's all they know. So instead of going out beyond their problems and trying something new and doing something different that allows them to change and move forward and expand and increase and live high vibe and feeling wonderful, they stay stuck in their tight little world because it's all they know, and it's better than taking a risk. It's better than doing something that's unknown, because this is known. And you know what? That's a habit. It's that 99% automatic conditioning that they've always lived from, that you've always lived from perhaps, and you don't have to anymore. And that's why I'm here. I'm here to tell you that you can live the life of your dreams. Will you get it in a week? I don't know. You might. Would you get it in 10 years? You certainly could. It's all up to you. It's what you decide you're going to do. And if you make a decision that's it, I'm done, I'm not going to be the same, I'm not going to have the excuses, I'm not going to live with the wimpiness, I'm not going to stay stuck anymore, I'm going to free myself up, I'm going to go beyond, I'm going to explore this, and I'm going to make life sumptuous, I'm going to make it delicious. Think of it as you go to a buffet, you can try all the things you've already eaten, or you can sample all the stuff you've never eaten. And guess what? If you take something that you don't like, you put it down and you don't eat it again. You go, that's not for me. You try so, oh, that's good. I want more. I want more. Life is a smorgasbord of experiences. Drop the stuff that doesn't serve you. If you don't sit there and complain about the thing that you tasted, you don't go, I had the worst piece of crap at this buffet, and talk about it for 30 years, do you? But people do that with their lives. People do that with their money, with their romance, with their health, with their happiness. They get up in the morning and tell you, you know what, this crappy thing happened on the freeway, and then went into work and the boss did that. And they just keep perpetuating the same problems. They're stuck doing the same thing over and over again. It's kind of like, in the old days, there were phonograph records. You actually stuck a needle attached to a sound device on a piece of vinyl that had grooves in it, and sometimes that thing would skip. It would just keep playing the same groove over and over and over again. Nowadays, you might see that on YouTube, where they show you a video, and it's supposed to be pronounced GIF, by the way, a GIF. It's supposed to be pronounced GIF, according to the person who created the concept. It just plays over and over and over again, that same little segment over and over and again. That's how people are stuck. They're running the poverty, the lack, the I don't have money, I can't do it, I don't know where the money's going to come from. They always have money. For 40 years, they've had money problems. Why? Because they're doing the same thing over and over again. They're not making a change, the right change, the correct change that brings them contact with being able to do something different. I'm going to show you how to do that. When you enroll in Mind Design, this is what you learn. You learn how to have a joyous, wonderful, sumptuous, incredible life. So I invite you to join me. Now, we have an incredible support team of people. When I say team, it's people who are in what we call pods. It's a support group that are there to uplift and contribute and share with each other. So you become one of the support group members. So we're very picky about the kind of people who we let into our support groups. All right. We don't want people who come in and rain on the parade and disrupt the thing and make it nasty for people. We want it to be a wonderful place where you grow and you develop. So we're very concerned with who we let in. So whether you get in or not is up to what the kind of person you are. Do you understand? But having said all that, the opportunity is there for you to change your life beginning now, beginning this instant. Now, I want to give you a free gift. You can look at Mind Design. It's at idea-seminars.com. Idea-seminars.com. IDEA-seminars, SEMINARS.com. Right there, that is. Now, you also get a free gift. I promised you get a free gift if you stayed all the way to the end. So here at the end, you get a gift called What's Stopping You? And it's about how you can overcome your limiting beliefs and the blockages that prevent you from moving forward. If you're stuck, you want to move forward. If your life is at a 1, 2, 3, or a 5 or below, or a 7 or below, you want to make it a 8, 9, and 10, you can do it. You can do it in Mind Design. You can do it with me. I promise you, I will deliver the goods to you that you can transform your life. Trust me on that. All right? And get Mind Design. But start with your free gift. What's stopping you? And go and get that right now at ideaseminars.com or where the link is for the free gift. But I'm Rex Sikes. I've been doing this for over 40 years. When I was about 25 years old, I had a life crisis that has led me on a journey of self-discovery and enlightenment and awareness. And one of my favorite sayings is that exploration is the doorway to adventure and awareness is the key. I'm going to help you become more aware of the things that are awesome about you. And we're going to clear out the clutter and clean out the limitations and the blocks, remove those. We're not going to throw them out. We're going to release them and drop them. And you're going to transform your life. I see you in Mind Design.